Welcome back to the Right Take Report. So, we have another college student against Charlie Kirk who thinks white people hate her just for being black or African American, but with zero proof at all feelings, to be honest. She walks up to Charlie Kirk, full of emotion, but ends up contradicting herself. Let's break down this video and call it the nonsense, because this victim mentality is getting quite old, and somebody needs to point it out and say it.
I guess basically the point of my argument is I think that President Trump, and I think that this country's view, especially when we're coming now into DEI and we're coming into defunding of Department of Education, we're coming to taking the Tuskegee Airmen out of being taught.
That has been reversed, just for the record.
Okay.
Tuskegee Airmen.
But there's been multiple other things besides Tuskegee, but also the whole debate on critical race theory, teaching slavery in schools, teaching black history, et cetera, et cetera. These are things that are being targeted specifically when it took years and years to even get them in place. I think that this country is built on using the Bible, not even 100 years ago, to defame and to dehumanize black people. There has been use of the Bible specifically when people used to come into the church and talk about how slaves should obey their masters, and how that's what the whole relationship between white and black people were. I think that this country specifically has a lot of racist rhetoric that is built in, that is not being targeted. I think that.
So let's try to find some common ground. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Can you give me a definition of racism?
Racism, in terms of, I will say, okay, before I
use the term,
yes,
so I want to make sure we're talking
fair.
about the same thing. Is that cool?
Yes, that's fair. I will say that I will state that I am biased because I will be speaking as a black person specifically from the United States of America, and not anywhere else. But I will say racism is a discrimination against people of a minority that does not have a. Okay, what is racism? Racism, without using the word.
Can't use the word racism.
Can't use the word. I'm trying. A discrimination against a minority class of people in order to create an imbalance in the society or a hierarchy based on something that is undetermined as of color, race, the color of your skin, or maybe even color of your skin.
Can you be racist against Asians?
Yes.
Can you be racist against white people?
I believe that you can have prejudice against white people, but in the way that this country was built and the way that this country has been founded and the way that there are many laws that have taken place, specific like where you were talking earlier with the whole reparations debate, there are many legacies of white people in this country that...
Guys, just... Okay, let's just all take a breath. Gigi's talking.
Which I also would like, I feel like that kind of comes into... Yes, we're not all from this country. This is a country of immigrants. This is a country of people from other countries.
So let me give you an example.
Yes.
If a group of black individuals, which happens unfortunately so often, say, we want to go beat up Whitey, and they go beat up a white person, was that a racist thing that they did?
No. I would have to ask for further context, but yes. Based off of that,
cool.
Yes.
So, but then let's go back to your definition. Because your definition was that it had to be the exercise of power. I'm going to make your definition better for you, because the exercise of power against a minority group.
Yes.
But in that case, it wouldn't be, because it would be a group of black individuals versus a white individual.
Correct.
So wouldn't a better definition of racism be a human being or institution prejudicing or stereotyping against anybody else because of their race?
I do agree that there's a better definition in terms of how racism is used in society, in terms of setting people behind not having equal amounts of opportunities in these institutions, specifically colleges, jobs, et cetera, hospitals. But that is my point. I feel like in this country, we don't talk about enough, and I think that under this presidency...
Don't talk about what enough?
We don't talk about the history and the impact of long-term racism in this country against minorities.
Can I just press pause?
Yes.
That's all we've talked about the last 5 years. I mean, but hear me out. 1619 Project. We have entire black dedicated channels on Pluto and Hulu and Netflix. We have reoriented the entire national dialogue towards, we had the President of the United States, Joe Biden, take a knee for Black Lives Matter, to have racial reconciliation seminars, to have non-stop race obsession. So I think we've talked about it thoroughly and properly.
So do you think that black people in this country have equal opportunity and are treated equally as white
Absolutely.
people?
So let me prove it to you, okay? So Gigi and Charlie. What can Charlie do that Gigi can't do?
Okay, I don't know anything. I don't really know much about you. I don't know
Based
like
on the
what
law.
you're capable of.
No, just on the law. What am I allowed to do on the law that you are not allowed to do on the law?
On paper, nothing.
All right, a quick pause here. Just want to make a few comments. This woman is 100% playing the race card. There is no facts, no logic, just feelings, and a desperate need to be seen as a victim, yet again. It's the same tired playbook. Blame society, blame the last 100 or even 200 years for things that never happened today. And of course, you can also blame Trump. That's an easy way to go. It's a classic leftist tactic. Find an enemy, avoid accountability, and wrap it all up in emotional rhetoric. She's the kind of person who will say, you can't be racist towards white people, even though racism has always been about race, not minority status. It's prejudice, discrimination, and antagonism based on somebody's race. Even if it happens to minorities, it's not just minorities. That's the definition. And let's be real. What's the actual point of walking up to Charlie Kirk just to make emotional arguments without a single fact? What progress are we making with this type of argument? What is the goal? Are you just venting or trying to be right without being challenged? Then she talks about how race gets brought up in education. And yeah, she is right. Tons of courses today focus on redlining, systematic racism, white privilege, and historical grievances, which shouldn't really even be the topic. We should be focusing on the future. But here's the issue. It's all one-sided nowadays. Can't argue that for all time, but nowadays that's what it is. There's rarely space for nuance or accountability. The curriculum does not ask how far we've come. It just rehashes how bad things once were, which is not going to help us. It's not education, it's indoctrination. And the kicker? She even admits it. Everyone, regardless of race, has the same opportunity in the United States. That's a fact. You can work hard, start a business, get a scholarship, go to school, do whatever you can to succeed, and actually get far. So why would you still play a victim? It really makes no sense. But that'll be it. That's all for my 2 cents, and I will get back into the video.
That is true. Like, I was born under this country. I am a citizen of America. I am an American. I am a black American. I am a follower. I am a child of God. We all are. I 100% stand on that. But I think that basically what I'm trying to get at is I feel like in order for us to have these conversations and to keep having these conversations, we need to have a specific platform that we're able to meet each other on the common consciousness of this society. And I don't think we can have these conversations if we do not understand that black people specifically, because I really can't talk about Asians. I'm not Asian. I can't talk about other people of color. But black people in this country specifically have never had the opportunities to bring themselves back up. When you're talking about the destroyment of the black family, that also came with a big chunk of the Reagan administration, which was forever and whatever ago.
How is it the government's fault of why dads aren't around?
I mean, we could get into the whole, like, the rhetoric of crack babies and crack drug dealers.
Here are my final thoughts to end the video. The idea that you can't talk about someone else's race or experiences unless you're part of that same group makes total nonsense. You don't have to be a doctor to talk about abortion or periods or anything like that. Men can have opinions on it just like women, and this is in terms of many different things, just like how the majority of military people are men, but women can also have an opinion on that. But let's get back to the topic. Yes, white people can talk about racism just like black people can. But let's be honest, black Americans have had plenty of opportunities to rise. Affirmative action, school subsidies, government programs, food stamps, anything you can name. Over $25 trillion have been given to the black community in terms of all the things I just said over the last 60 years. So please do not tell me they haven't had a chance to rise in our society. But instead of progress that we're getting, we're just told it's not enough. We have to do more. Why do we have to do more? This whole kind of stay in your lane mindset and be a victim just doesn't make any sense. Okay? At some point, you have to ask the question, is it the system or is it the mindset? Just look at Asian Americans, also a minority who are facing discrimination commonly, but they still thrive in education and income, even higher than white people. So why would that be? Accountability, strong family values, and a focus on achievement through personal goals and lack of being a victim. That's the model. That's the way we need to be. So my hope is the black community steps out of this victim mindset and into responsibility. Real change does not come from blaming others. It comes from owning your future without the government holding your hand or playing the savior in an attempt to get more votes. That's all I'm going to say for it. Thanks for watching the Right Take Report. If you're tired of the constant victimization and playing the victim card, stay with me, hit that like button, and subscribe. I'm here every day breaking down the nonsense and giving you the straight, no spin, no BS report. I'll catch you in the next one.